What is up, bros? Josh here, and welcome to this episode of Weekly Replays, our series where we go over some World of Warships replays that you guys send me. We break down, give a good analysis of what's going on, my thoughts of the battle, and in the end, we just watch some badass World of Warships games. Now, I saw the post-battle screen of this, and I thought I had to pick this one to go over because it seems too good to be true. Now, one of the things that, I don't want to quite spoil it, but when you see big numbers and you see that battle results, you kind of wonder what happened, so I'm hoping we can see what goes on in this game and maybe what could have gone better. But in this game, though, we are going over Simenabs. It is actually his second replay that we're picking. His first one was in a in the Yamato, and he had another massive game, but with a terrible outcome. Just couldn't quite do just couldn't quite pull it off, and had kind of the team melt around him. So we'll see what happens in this one. This week, though, he is in the Bourgogne, so obviously he loves the battleships. And one quick caveat to this week's video: I had a little bit of an audio issue going through, a little bit of a different temporary audio setup for a couple days, so I apologize if the levels are all off for this week's video. So I'm trying to get them over time kind of back to normal, so I apologize if things are too loud or things are too quiet. It'll just be temporary for a couple videos. But this week's, though, is in the Bourgogne. The Bourgogne is probably one of the most fun ships in this entire game. Very few people will have the ability to get it, so if you are saving up your steel and thinking between maybe the Stalingrad and or the Bourgogne, I would definitely recommend getting the Bourgogne. It's fantastic, although it is the most expensive steel ship in the entire game right now, it being a tier 10 French battleship. Basically what it is, it's a tier 9 Alsace in a tier 10 body, but what you do is you get that reload consumable. As you can see, that Y consumable down below. This thing is just so fun. It has a massive impact on the game. And as you see, both a monster with a HE and AP, the ability to switch back and forth. If you didn't see my Jean Bart video, is it worth it? I may end up doing one on the, what do you guys think? Would you guys like to see an is it worth it breakdown videos for the steel ships as well? I feel like it's kind of a little goofy to potentially do one with... And there's the reload boost. This is why the ship can be so good. You get into a spot, shooting HE, shooting AP, burning ships down, and unlucky right there. It is 380 millimeters, which tend to do really well on light cruisers, but the reload booster is going to give him another chance, and he might potentially get another nice shot here. I mean, that angle is pretty good too. Unlucky, a Neptune basically, he got a pretty good shot on it, but it's going to heal most of it back. He's going to take the shot as well, waiting for one more. Getting the rep fire. Actually, the Neptune is playing that about as good as he could, because you don't want to quite fire all your salvo. It's going to give you a perfect outline of someone that knows what they're doing, firing the smoke. And the Neptune only shooting those two didn't really give too much away, so Sim ends up missing the shot. But nothing too crazy. But the actual Bourgogne, oh yeah, let me know if you guys want me to do an is it worth it video for the steel ships. Maybe try to help you guys out with those potentially. Because I know people always ask me if things are worth it. I just feel like, I don't know if many people will be able to use that information too much. But yeah, just let me know in the comments below. But a breakdown of this video. Anyways, I love the Stalingrad, or the Bourgogne. I think it's much better than Stalingrad. He just was seeing a Stalingrad. But the breakdown of the game, top tier on the new shards. The shards definitely got a bit of a facelift, and it's a tad different than what it used to be. Still a really good map, but definitely the flow of the map is a lot more... It's interesting now, it being a high tier map instead of the mid tier. And man, he's got to get some AP shows going here. Already a Milski on the potential damage, so that's pretty awesome. And a nice salvo right there. That's that 380s kind of hitting cruisers perfectly. But CV's in the sky, a couple divs here, a couple shimikazes, got to worry about that. 3 battleships, or 3 destroyers on each side, and there is one of the weaknesses of the Bourgogne, but what you are going to be doing is constantly moving with this. So far, so good. What you see a lot on this map, though, is a lot of this, so going as far around as possible. Not the best spot for the Yamato. Hindenburg literally can't shoot anything, either can the Baltimore, so a bit of a bad positioning right there. But they have had the middle. Again, that Neptune's up there. That ship was actually extremely low. Cossack versus Lightning over there. But overall, he's doing okay. What you want to do with this is, and actually the Ogdevoy is getting a tad greedy as you see it going into ACAP. So we're kind of watching that. He's obviously going into a double radar. Probably not looking... Ooh, and he loses the Henry. Oh, that Henry was stationary, so that Henry played that pretty poorly. So getting a Henry getting hit by a Shima first blood 5 minutes into the game is a bad misplay. But yeah, that Ognivoy getting way too aggressive on A, and there's the Benson down there too. So the Buki is something we're watching, the Ognivoy down there as well, Cossack as well, and down goes the Cossack to Torps. No, you hate to see that. Cossack goes down to Torps. You have a 3-minute plus the consumable. If you're the module, if you have a 3-minute sonar, there is no way Royal Navy DDs, once they get the sonar, should ever be taking Torps. So that's a bit of a bummer. And he's starting to pump in some damage. One thing about the Bourgogne is it just pumps out so much freaking damage because you end up using both HE and AP consistently. And there we go, the Ognivoy way overextended. Didn't look at the minimap at all. Obviously didn't look to see if there was a Stalingrad or a Salem there. Went into double radar. Went to actually 2 DDs that outspot it, and pretty much got killed. There you go. So 1.4 mil already on the tanked. It looks like he probably doesn't run. He doesn't have secondary. Ooh, there we go. Nice shot. Gets him back into the game. First kill for his team. Speed up. Takes one on the bum. But looks like he probably doesn't have AFT and or BFT on this setup because he is not shooting down any planes. So a bit of a bummer there. Maybe likes to go a tad more on the aggro, but not shooting down any Shokaku planes with Shokaku. Not shooting down any Shokaku planes. He finally gets one. That's probably one that's tailing off, though. It's probably the strike that just hit. Actually, there you go. He cleans it up. So maybe just getting unlucky there on that. But takes 2, not too bad. Salem, though, the lower... He's got a couple problem ships over here. The Salem is obviously his next target. He has DDs on his backside. Luckily, the Benson's on the Whaler side. He has the Yamato there as well. Waiting for the Salem to pop that out. Once the Salem gives him any kind of angle, and this is something you can honestly throw off a lot of players with too, is like, okay, he just shot, now I can turn. And then you pop the reload consumable. And yeah, as he's pinging that map, he 100% is pinging the direct area. That team over there needs to move. That Yamato, now way over, now kind of in the front. If I'm the Yamato, what I end up actually doing is probably rotate north and get away from that DD. Let the Baltimore stay south. Let the Freddy maybe even get a tad more because it's a secondary build. If I'm the Yamato, I probably end up rotating north and start kind of beating up on these other ships. But no, he's definitely pinging the right targets. But one thing with the Bourgogne, though, is you can catch a lot of ships off guard. Because like, oh, hey, he just shot. I'm free to move, blah, blah, blah. Downside of it, though, is the 380s. And he's not really able to pen consistently. I mean, he can get some decent pens, but he's had to end up switching to HE. So that is one of the downsides of it. Again, though, if you can trick him out, thinks they're maybe going to shoot HE and then rotate back to the AP. So Simenabs is having to rotate back. Again, they're Hindenburg. I don't know what they're doing. They're in like a Des Moines spot, unless they're doing like a super try-hard just break line of sight. If I'm this, honestly, if I'm this Hindenburg, I think I just go way south. They have a lion down here. I'd probably hit like this line, hunt down this Mogami. It's not like he's really going to do anything, but get some pressure on the south side. You can probably cut off. I mean, him going like right here, I don't know what he's trying to achieve. Either I would have gone way north would work too, or I would have gone south and put some pressure on that Kutuzov, Mogami. They need to get some kills because they're down obviously 3 ships. The Lightning. Oh, the Yamato takes out the Lightning, so that's good. But how much life does he have? We can't really see. And right here, we're seeing the reload booster. Ooh, Stalingrad give us just enough. He's going to actually roll. He rolls expert loader. Not a bad consumable for this. And give us those broadsides. We want it. Are they just forgetting he's broadside? What is this? Like, did they think he just disappeared? What's going on right now? Now, he has 4 reload consumables with only 10 minutes left, so there's no real reason for him to hold on to him. And he can probably get the pens on that Stalingrad if he shoots upper armor belt. So, nothing too crazy on that. Stalingrad obviously looking at him. He sees him pushing forward. Again, I would have pushed the reload consumable right there. I think he missed out on some damage. And he got a little bit of a juke there, but he would have already had his next salvo ready. Probably could have hit him with the Citadel. Maybe a bit of a misplay there. I don't know why he just didn't go for it. I don't even know if he can use all the reload consumables through the rest of the game. There's no reason to hold on to him at that point. They're up by points, but they're down by kills still, and there's just no kind of reason to hold on to him. So looking for situations, Freddy goes down to the lion. What I would do if I was him is I would probably go dark. Now, one of the problems is he has the Benson. I don't know what their Shokaku. We'll try to watch their next strikes, but I would have the Shokaku 100% focus on this guy, and then I would honestly probably rotate around, get all my guns, and then just push into the Stalingrad. I don't think it's that bad, although he does have to worry about 2 Yamatos. Yamatos will punch your nose in. One has survivability expert though, so who knows what'll actually happen there. But he needs to put some pressure on this. He is in kind of a farming spot, and there's the Benson. So now he knows that Shima's trying to help out. Secondaries are popping off. It is full life though. But again, I'm looking at the time left, and I'm looking at reload boosters. These are things I use pretty... Oh man. Oh, luckily, see if that Yamato would have been a tad more north, he would have been able to absolutely shred that broadside Stalingrad. So the Yamato is in the middle of the cap, but still he would have been able to just absolutely obliterate there. There goes the reload, popping it. Stalingrad did repair the 2 fires, and will now get 2 fires stuck on that. Remember, Stalingrad's repair is different now, so it's much longer, and those torps might actually be pretty good. He's turning in. He doesn't have his guns on him anymore, so he's just gonna keep pumping damage. Already at almost... That's the crazy thing, because you end up shooting a lot of HE in this ship, so you get armor you get damage stacked very quickly, but he also has 7 citadels, so it's a real good mix. So he's got the dev strike already, 2 dev strikes, high caliber as well, and still has 3 reload consumables again. Ooh, and that's clutch. All right, so this is an easy move for him. What he's just gonna end up doing, he does only have 30k, but gotta kill that Stalingrad. Once that Stalingrad goes down, and honestly, he just pushes around. Where'd that Hindenburg end up dying? I kind of didn't really see. He got killed by the Shokaku though. So yeah, that's the right ping. CV needs to just focus on that, and this is basically an easy push for these 2 guys. He needs to work with this Yamato, work both these guys down, and that other Yamato isn't too healthy. He's 66k, one's at 24. Basically a salvo on that. He could really do that. Full-blown AP, he just needs to cheek it. It has the ability to cheek, and with that Yamato getting wrecked. He does trade, which is good. He does actually trade, and actually if he would have done that reload consumable earlier when I first called out it, he would have had a reload consumable on that broadside. So who knows if that would have really made any difference. A little high there, but that looks like more dispersion than anything. The thing I'm worried about though is this CV. Now obviously I can see the post-battle screen already, but I'm worried about the CV being able to just pick on this guy. Also the CV, we know that our Shima is extremely low. We don't know where that Mogami is. We don't know where the lion is. Boom, there you go, boom. You just have to kind of wreck that. And luckily the CV helps him out with the spotter plane, but we just... Man, the CV's going for the wrong ships right now. Actually, it's not too terrible. You just have to put faith at this point in your battleship to be able to kill off battleship versus battleship. If you're the CV, you just got to be looking for other kills. Again, if I was the Hindenburg, this is what I would have done. I would have rotated south side, obviously, and look what he would have ended up doing. He would have been able to put some pressure on this. This is when he needs to pop this reload consumable, like right now. And switches over, reload consumable, boom. He's giving a perfect cheek. And these Yamatos, man, they tried to give him the win, that's for sure. And how hard are we gonna get hit? 18,000. That's not too bad, but he needs to die. He's got some decent Bourgogne. There it is. Back turret action. Now that CV, their CV is okay. Well, may end up saving him, but CV absolutely wasted an entire drop. There was no reason for him to drop that. That was pretty poor play. That was kind of a greedy play. That CV should have either been, and obviously, as you can see on the minimap now, Dev Strike here would be God tier. Oh, so close. He ended up turning away just a tad. Oh, he will get another try though. But as you see, that Shokaku tried to drop on the guy that was basically dead. And with the adrenaline rush, I'm sure Simenabs would have been able to kill him before he got the next salvo off anyway. but there is a Shimakaze right in front of their CV's face. So a bad jump by their CV. The CV should have been focused on the Shima. I didn't see how much life the Shima had, but he will take him down. If I do look over there, we'll see how crazy it would have been. Their Shima is super low. Assuming that you get some... Man, it is a rough spot. Those... There you go. There's the next salvo. There's that 300k on top of that 320. 12 citadels. Man, this ship is so damn fun. It's kind of crazy. If you have enough steel, or if they can get enough steel, or saving up steel for something you're not quite sure what to get, Bourgogne is at the top of my list for steel ships. I absolutely love this ship. Now it is, he said he can't do more. That's true, man. So a couple big misplays for the team mainly. Not so much Simenabs. He just did a ton of damage, and there's just no way he's going to be able to beat a Lion unless he just dev strikes him right here, detonates him or something like that. He won't even survive against the Shokaku. Shokaku will eventually just kill him. He has 4 minutes. 326k. The only thing I think that Simenabs could have done differently himself was maybe split up the Yamatos. That may have kept his Yamatos alive long enough, or his last Yamato in the middle. I don't think it has any difference on the outcome of this game, though. I think he just ends up dying. I think the DD just ends up dying. I just don't think it really, there's not really much they can do. They would have had a better chance of winning this if... And again, this is the one thing why when you're playing this ship in the Jean Bart, yes, you're waiting for the best situation to actually, and down he goes. Not much he can do. That's insane though. Got some fires. Sticky fire, is that it? 343,025 damage. There is not much more you can do, and the reason being is my highest damage game was on a 336,000 damage GK game, the Gross Sacrifice game, and it was also a loss. It is such a bummer when you're putting in that much work, doing that much damage, and really in the end, you're trying to like point out a couple things, and you're like, man, there's not much more he could have done. I think even if he tries to put some pressure maybe on those Yamatos and split up their damage, maybe they free up a little bit in the middle, but he might end up dying anyway and just take enough damage from those. I mean, again, I don't know if he really could have done anything himself. The CV should have been going for other targets, 100%. CV should have been going for other targets and could have taken out that Mogami, could have taken out that Lion, could have even worked on that Shimakaze the entire time. The Shimakaze ended up killing him. So some bad calls there. That Hindenburg, I feel like the Hindenburg is such a strong ship that the Hindenburg obviously is just going to rip up Shokaku planes anyway. And yeah, a couple other ships just kind of threw themselves away. Again, their Ogdevoy pushed in. Their Cossack took a torp. Which should never happen. So very well played by their CV, focusing on the right targets. Obviously their Shimakaze just doing the hero play and getting rewarded for it, and their props to their Shimakaze not dying with it being so low against the CV. Obviously the CV will just eventually get him, so it's going to be hard for him to really do anything the rest of this game. But really, the only other things I could have pointed out were probably, one, hopefully some of his teammates wouldn't have YOLO'd, which they kind of did and got wrecked. Their Henry ended up getting dev struck by the Shima. The Ogdevoy pushed into 2 radars that they weren't paying attention, and their CV I think picked some bad targets, and I think their Hindenburg didn't quite have the outcome that it could have had. In that, I think the Hindenburg could have rotated south and put so much more pressure, and there's the end of the game right there. So overall, man, it hurts to see that final scoreboard. 343,000 damage, craziness. Every time you hit that 100,000, you're feeling good. Every time you hit that 200,000, you're feeling real good. And every time you hit that 300,000 game, you're feeling on top of the world. It just sucks to see that defeat instead of a victory. And actually, versus Simenabs, this is his second one we're showing off for a 300+ loss. I'm interested to see what you guys have had. What is your biggest damage game, and was it a win or was it a loss? Usually those big damage games tend to be losses. This one could have gone differently if just a couple other things would have happened. I mean, you saw a couple drops from that Shokaku on ships that were basically dead already. And if you would have used that on the Lion, or used that on the Mogami, or used that on really anything else, spending time finding that Shokaku, 6,000 damage on a Shimakaze would have probably saved him, and maybe helped out the rest of the game. But hey, can't control the 11 other people on your team, but still an awesome showing. 18 planes shot down, 130 target hits, again with the Bourgogne, just loving it. And you got to use up all those reload consumables when you can. Obviously, you got to find the good spot, which he did. I mean, all the ones he used ended up being really good on their damage output, forcing the repairs on the Stalingrad, getting 2 more, getting the extra citadels on that. Ended up finishing the game with 1 not used, so there were probably some chances in there, like the one I was pointing out. But other than that, he played really, really well. 16 defends, a couple of secondary hits, probably not spec'd out secondaries at all, and some extra damage. Also, the team score ended up top of the team. Not too surprising with all that damage. I mean, not being top of the team with 343,000 damage would be pretty nuts, but 2,200 base XP, 3 kills, followed by the Yamato, cleaning up a bunch of them, getting 4 kills himself. And again, like you can see a couple ships like the Hindenburg being where it was. I think the Hindenburg could have made some plays down south. Again, that Henry getting dev struck early. You see a tier 10 Henry at second from the bottom. That's brutal. Baltimore being there, Cleveland, the Freddy being there. Again, any kind of high tier battleship that lasted a decent amount of time being that low as well. But again, you see some things that kind of point out to that Henry being that low. That if that guy would have probably not gotten dev struck, probably would have been able to farm a lot more damage and do a lot more on that side. Maybe could have turned the tides, but still top of the team for the XP. Not too bad with that tier 10 French battleship. Not much you can really do, but overall, a fantastic games, and congratulations to Simenabs. Again, if you guys have any awesome games in World of Warships and are interested in me maybe doing a recap or a analysis on them, we do pick 1 a week. You can post them up on our Discord channel. I'll put a link down below Discord channel, and you can also and the winner gets 1,000 doubloons each week, so that's pretty cool. And a little shout out to you guys, and it's always fun to kind of look these over. I might add this into maybe like on our Wednesday stream, doing some replay analysis, because these are actually kind of fun, and maybe making it a bit more of an educational thing. So maybe stopping in. Again, sorry for the audio. I don't know if I assume the levels are okay this week. If they are all wonky, I apologize. That I'm trying to get it back to a little bit till I get a new kind of audio setup. That this is just temporary. So in the future, it'll be back to normal. But anyways, guys, this is it for this week's episode of Weekly Replays. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Some Bourgogne gameplay, tier 10 French premium cruiser, or battleship, tier 10 premium battleship. One of my favorite ships to play right now. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.